Hey, welcome everyone to this week's collective reading. So welcome to those members who have recently joined this group, Consciousness Arising. My name is Lindsay Banks. I work as a psychic medium, intuitive, channeler, as well as a variety of other things. I have lots of labels to my name. Anyway, every week I do what I call readings for the collective. So what do we need to know for the collective this week? So the first one is Divine Mystery. So I'm going to pull the other couple first, just to see what comes. It's funny, because I started using the word collective, and I launched a membership group, which I didn't launch very successfully, but we all try these different things and try things out, and the membership group was called the Awakening Collective, and then when I do my readings I call it for the collective. And the more books that I read about sort of like awakening and going forward, most of the language is around the collective. And I think, oh, that's interesting, because I started using that word about a year ago, not having any idea, where it's come from. But yeah, it's a word, it's a thing. So let's see, what's the last one? It's funny, because, well, I'll show you when I show you these cards. What else do we need to know for the collective? Yeah, okay. Okay, so we'll start with the one I pulled first. So this card, so Divine Mystery. Okay, so I feel like with this card, for many of us, there's a lot of questions around what's going on, why is this happening, where am I meant to be? For some of us, we may have either lost jobs, or there might be big changes going on within your life right now, and you're wondering, I just keep getting the question in my mind, it's like, why? And I feel like with this card, it's about trusting, and it can be really difficult, but trusting that upstairs knows a lot more than we do. So if we can sort of take ourselves out of our current situation and think, or sort of try and see it from a higher perspective, the what's going on, it's like breaking away from the, right, this is me, this is going on in my life, yeah, and this has changed. Why has this changed? And the reasons will become clear. And I feel like with this card, I feel as if there is this sort of like unraveling of stuff from a higher sense. So there's much more going on in the world and around the world and beyond than what we may currently know. So I feel as if with this card, it's like at the very center is this beautiful dove. Let's push it down a minute. There's this beautiful dove of peace, and I feel like central to what's going on, it's about ensuring that we become these sort of channels of peace, if you like. The more peaceful that we can feel within, the more centered we're going to be. So you've got sort of like the dark underneath. So it's as if the last sort of, is it 10 weeks now we've been in lockdown? It's like that's the darkness, it's like this change and there's this resistance to change. But the way the dove's going, it's up towards the light. That way, up towards the light. So in terms of your feelings, the closer we can get to feeling peaceful, content, and at one with ourselves. That sounds really weird, at one with ourselves. The more peaceful that we can feel, the more that sort of shines out, and it starts to have this ripple effect on others as well. So when you start to feel peaceful within yourself and calm, then others around you will start to feel it, and it goes beyond. So you think that maybe, if you're meditating, example, every day, or you're doing yoga, or you're doing things which are allowing you to feel this peacefulness, you might think, oh, well, it's not working, it's not doing anything. But actually, it's going like beyond your house, you know, it's going to your neighbours, and then everyone that you meet in the street, if you're speaking to them and you're saying hello, your energy of that peace is merging with other people's as well. So I feel like for some of us, there's going to be some surprises come out this week. I feel like there's going to be, I'm just getting the word surprises. They're not telling me anything else because I'm not allowed to know my surprise either. But there's going to be some stuff comes up and you're like, oh my God, where did that come from? You know, so I feel like for some it might be a financial windfall, for some it might be, you know, something to do with a relationship. I feel like there's different aspects for everyone, but there's definitely going to be some surprises, I feel, this week. The second card I got is You're a Leader with Joan of Arc. So if you haven't already, go and check out my YouTube video where I basically had the chance to speak with the spirit of Joan of Arc, yeah? And the words that she said were all around this, you're a leader. So some of you might be looking at this card and thinking, I'm not a leader, I don't know, you know, and dismissing it. But, and I think I said this either last week or to someone else, but when we do the work that we do, we are, again, it's thinking sort of beyond yourself. So whether you are, I don't know, whether you're a Reiki teacher, for example, or if you're a yoga teacher, yeah, what you're doing is you're teaching others the tools that you know work for you, yeah. And when you're sharing content on your social media, yeah, if it's inspirational, if it's some technique that's helping others, whether it's you know, how to stay grounded, whether it is talking about speaking up, whatever that social media is, yeah, the social media post, your way of living, you're leading. So yeah, Angela, leading by example. That's what we are doing by choosing to utilize and learn spiritual tools, yeah, which we can incorporate into the world that we're living in. We are showing others that actually you can live in this 3D world, yeah, and have the 5D aspects to it, yeah. So you can practice yoga daily, you can practice mindfulness and incorporate that. You know, I think sometimes people see it as it's like a massive thing, and it is transformational when you start to use these tools, yeah. But every decision you make, every choice you make, every, you know, I feel like there's this big push. I feel that everything we're sharing on social media is about being conscious of what we write before we write it, yeah. So okay, and you know, if people are writing things that you see on social media, and if you feel that it is possibly like maybe possibly it doesn't fit with you, or you don't feel comfortable with it, then don't be afraid to say, actually, that doesn't sit right with me, or you know, I don't feel like that's appropriate. So an example I'll give you is, I was on Twitter the other day, and someone who is very well known as to do with mental health basically wrote a tweet saying, I know you're all dicks, but I like you. And to me, I read it and I just thought, that doesn't sit right with me, because you wouldn't call well, maybe he does call himself that, but if you're not going to say it to yourself, why are you telling all of these people who are following you, who maybe are going through some mental health issues, or they're going through depression or anxiety? So I just said, look, this doesn't sit right with me, I don't feel it's right, and just called him out on it basically, and he didn't respond, and I had maybe 2 responses saying, you know, what are you talking about, he's got a sense of humour. And I was like, okay, well, if that's what you like and that's your sense of humour, that's fine, but it just didn't sit right with me. So so the work that you're doing, you may not feel like you are a leader yet, but please be aware and know that, like, said before, you're leading by example. Okay. Okay, so then this card we have, don't know if you can see that, is the Angel of Space Clearing. So it's time to clear old negative thoughts and feelings. And again, I feel this is quite similar, you know, to the Divine Mystery card, because this has the sense of the dark and the light on it as well. So I feel like we've already done quite a lot of work on ourselves as a collective, you know, over the last 10 weeks. There's been clearing going on that we're not even aware of in terms of upstairs and timelines and ancestral stuff, etc. But I feel like this is a bit of a final push, and it's like, what else do I not need anymore? What is not serving me that just needs to go? So if it is around negative thoughts like I'm not good enough, or you know, I can't do this, yeah, start writing some affirmations. Believe that you can and you are good enough, yeah. Any feelings, any residual feelings that are stuck there, yeah. I feel like this is I feel like there's already been lots of purging done, but I feel like this is another chance to just let go of what's not needed. And I feel by doing that, I mean, if you see how vibrant this flame is around the third eye chakra, I feel as if it's going to allow you to open up more to spirit, to connect with your higher self, your intuition, whatever names you want to give it. I just get the sense that the connection becomes clearer. Because like on this side where there's the darker side, it looks all sort of like crisscrossed and there's a flame in there, etc. But on the lighter side, it's much clearer definition. Yeah, so I just feel that if there's anything else that you just want to get rid of, do the space clearing. No, not do the space clearing. Clear out any negative thoughts and feelings as well. Yeah, you can clear your space as well if you wanted to, using some sage. You can smudge your house, open your windows, just get rid of anything that's not needed. Right, so I'm going to do a card from the Angels and Ancestors pack now, which I love. And then we'll do an affirmation card as well. So let's see, what else do we need to know this week? Okay. So this is the Hunter card. You see that? So it says, track down your fears and desires. So I feel like this one goes with the clearing card, because once we do start to shift all of the negativity thoughts, all of the negative thoughts and the feelings, then again we can become clearer on what we desire to move forward, yeah. And often in terms of the fear side, often when we face our fears, yeah, it's like that book, is there a book where it's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway? Feel the fear and do it anyway. When we face them, we realise that actually they're not as big as we made them out to be, yeah. So, and often the fear comes from something deeper or something that's driving that, yeah. So an example is I very much struggled with fear of rejection for a long time, and I put that down to, there was part of that was around control and letting go of control, which was a big learning for me. So once I recognised that, I could work with it and be able to sort of overcome that fear. So if you have some fears, and if there's things that you are worried about, write them down, because writing them down gives you a chance to see them in a different perspective as well. Yeah. So yeah, so and when we can overcome these fears, it sort of, it opens us up, and again it brings more clarity in, because it then allows space. Instead of us worrying and having these negative thoughts taking up our brain space, we then have space in order to think about what it is that we actually want from our life. So, you know, where do we want to live? Who do we want to be? What is the work we want to do? What do we want to bring to humanity? How can we be of service to others? Yeah, what do we love to do that we maybe haven't been doing? So I think that's a real opportunity this week to let go and feel into, you know, what impact do I want to have? You know, where do I want to be? Do I want to be living in this city? Do I want to be living elsewhere? What's my huge plan? My huge goal? Will the universe deliver it? Or deliver something more? So I'm just going to finish with an affirmation card. So these are, they're called a Gentle Hug for the Soul affirmation cards. And these are ones that I created myself. So let's see. So this week, I fill my body with healthy and nutritious food. So some of us in lockdown, say some of us, I've been raiding my kids' sweetie jars and biscuits and eating more cookies than I probably should this week. So I'm very conscious that I've been eating a lot more sugar than I probably need to. So it's a timely reminder, you know, when we're in lockdown, it's easy, isn't it, to think, oh, I'm going to eat this and I'm going to have that, and but it's just a reminder that if you can, have some nutritious and healthy food as well. Okay, lovely. So that is the reading for this week.